So if you have been following my channel over this last couple days, you have noticed that I've been posting reviews again. So I've done reviews for both Godzilla, King of the Monsters, as well as Ma, and I'll probably end up seeing Rocket Man at some point soon. Because I am now, hopefully, going back to posting videos on a more regular basis, and for real this time, not like back in April with my Pet Cemetery review, where I said I was going to do that, and then it posted a video for 2 months. During that time, between, I guess, Escape Room and now, I have actually seen about 14 movies in theaters, but I just didn't feel like doing reviews because I was burnt out and I didn't want to do videos for a while. So because of that, and I wanted to get my 2 cents in on these movies, I'm going to do kind of a speed review thing, going through all 14 of these movies that I've seen over the last 5 months, and just give you my general thoughts. I'm not going to go into detail or anything. Unless you want to, comment down below. Fine. But yeah, let's go. First one, the Lego Movie 2, the second part. I actually rented this on DVD once it came out, and I like the first one better. I think it's a fine sequel. It does a little bit more going into the universe, I guess, but it doesn't really stick out in my mind as a memorable addition, I guess. The Lego movies in general haven't really wowed me since the first one. Lego Batman didn't do anything for me. Ninjago I never saw. And so, yeah, if they stop doing Lego movies at this point, after, I guess, the Batman sequel, fine. Happy Death Day to You was actually a big disappointment for me because, like Lego Movie, I really enjoyed the first one a lot more. It was a very original idea and concept, and I thought that it did the horror element really, really well, and it had a really interesting idea with the Groundhog Day element to it. This one felt much more like a comedy, and just kind of dived more into the sci-fi element than it really needed to, and it just didn't do anything. It felt like, at least to me, for its entire runtime until the very end, and it just got kind of annoying for me personally. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. This is easily my favorite movie of the trilogy, and easily one of my favorite films of the year at this point in time. I cried a lot, and I loved a lot of the different moments in this movie, and there is very few things which I did not like about this movie, and it's just fantastic, fantastic characters that all kind of come together in a very good ending, and I loved how the film ended the trilogy in a really satisfying way, and it's one that I really want to watch again once the Blu-ray goes on sale. Captain Marvel is actually one of the MCU movies that I like the most, personally, because I know it's a controversial opinion for some reason, but I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a really good addition to the MCU. I thought that they captured Carol Danvers as a character really, really well, and I thought that Brie Larson did a really good job playing her. She was a really interesting superhero. I love seeing the origin story because one issue that I have with some origin stories like Spider-Man Homecoming, for instance, is that we just see the hero not know what they're doing with their powers, and it just gets really boring until the end, maybe. But this one, we have her already established. She knows what she's doing with her abilities, more or less, and we get to kind of see her how she became the hero in the past, and that's an origin story, which I like, and so I really enjoyed this one. Us was the second film from Jordan Peele, and a follow-up essentially to Get Out from 2 years ago. This film I really, really enjoyed as well. It has a really good horror element. It's very unique in regards to how they do the whole doppelganger element to it. I really thought that Lupita Nyong'o did a really good job portraying both of these characters, and the twist at the end with kind of how everything unfolds was also interesting, because it's just a twist that you didn't necessarily see coming. And it's a movie that I really want to watch again to get a lot more out of. Shazam is basically the example that I gave in Captain Marvel as to why I don't like these types of origin stories where the superhero doesn't know what they're doing. And for a lot of Shazam, it annoyed the hell out of me because it was basically Zachary Levi acting like a stuck-up dick because he has all these superpowers and just acts like a pompous jackass the whole time. It bugged the hell out of me until the end, where it got incredibly cheesy, and I hated it even more. So yeah, not the worst DC movie by far, but not my favorite at all either. Curse of La Llorona, worst film in the Conjuring franchise. Moving on. Avengers Endgame, best film in the MCU. Moving on. Detective Pikachu is probably the best video game adaptation we've had into a movie recently in the last however many years. It captures the feel of the Pokemon games really well, and me having played most of the actual like main installment games, it has a lot of different Easter eggs and cameos and really fun things for fans of both the anime and the games. And I just love that it incorporated both those things. It doesn't have the best dialogue at times, and the story is not the strongest, but it does what it does well, really, really well. And I'd be really interested to see how they would do a sequel or just a follow-up to some degree within the same universe. I also love that it was connected to the original Pokemon first movie that featured Mewtwo and Ash and the turning to people as stone stuff. I like that it had a reference to that and it's like actually connected to that bigger universe. It's really cool. Saga of Tanya the Evil is a movie that I got to see at a Crunchyroll anime movie night type of thing, and I loved it immensely. I had most recently watched the actual 12, I think, episode series on Crunchyroll. I really enjoyed it then, and I loved seeing this continuation of the story and hopefully something that will lead into either another movie installment or another season of the show, because it just captures the feel of the show so well with Tanya and her team, and just everything that I loved about the show was in this movie, and I really enjoyed the two just working well in that aspect. John Wick Chapter 3, fantastic movie, really fun. Keanu Reeves knocks it out of the park once again. Ending fight scene could have been a little bit shorter. Aladdin was a musical Disney adaptation which I actually enjoyed, more or less. It had its rough patches and there's some songs which seemed kind of weird, but Will Smith as the genie actually worked pretty well for me. I had no real flaws with that whatsoever. And then Naomi Scott, I think is her name, has an amazing voice, as you've heard in other reviews. She did a really good job as Jasmine, and I'm really interested to see what she does in the future. Brightburn, if you've heard, is basically a story of what would have happened to Superman if he was not nice. And I thought that did that idea really, really well, and I would love to see more from this universe, if not a direct sequel, just more within this world, because I would love to see a movie which isn't announced to be part of the Brightburn universe or set in the same time period or something, and then just midway through some other sci-fi movie we see some sort of reference to that, if not directly but indirectly. That'd be really, really awesome to see something like a dark superhero universe of sorts take place. That would be amazing to see on screen. But yeah, overall, Brightburn, really good movie, really good horror film. It wasn't the most amazing thing that I've ever seen, but I really enjoyed it overall. And the last movie on this list, Booksmart. This movie's been getting a lot of praise. It was fine for me personally. I laughed a lot. I liked the actresses. I thought that the scenarios that they got themselves into were fine. But for some reason, same thing with like Edge of 17 a couple years ago, I'm just not super into, I guess, coming of age movies anymore. I don't know why. Or like high school romps or whatever. Even though I really liked Ma, so go figure. Yeah, for some reason those movies just don't really appeal to me or get at my heartstrings or whatever anymore. Maybe I'm just getting old or something. But yeah, Brightburn, it's good. Go check it out if you're interested in it, but it's not going to be on my top 10 for the year. So guys, those are all 15 of the movies that I have seen between January and May, which I have not done a review for. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on any of those movies in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. If you want to hear me do a more fleshed out review of any of these movies, also let me know that and I'll see if I can manage it. More reviews coming, more general videos coming as well in regards to kind of mainly movies and anime, probably. If you want to see me do something else, let me know. I'd be down to consider other options. But as always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I appreciate it immensely. And as always, Merry people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.